Might as well just start. Here's my idea. When is the last time, and thank you for tuning into Indian Trace, that you got to draw up to the table to a lazy Susan, as you see right here, and got to check out, 8 just incredibly stellar hammerstones, North American Indian tools, and take a look at these things. We're going to take a look at these things and just have a little bit of a chat about them. Unbelievable specimens. And I just chose 8, and I keep about 20. So as we talk about these, I just grabbed them right off of there. We see points all the time, we see arrowheads all the time, but we're going to take a look at 8 just incredibly stellar tools that were used to make so many of those projectile points. Well, not necessarily the ones I have, but these were used to make so many projectile points and arrowheads. I mean, just take a look at these right here. So we're going to talk about these a little bit. It's a beautiful afternoon. Like I said, I have 20, and I just went in and grabbed a handful, grabbed about 8 of my favorites right off the top. And I know I made a lot of display videos about points and arrowheads and everything, but not as many that deal with these kind of tools. So let's just take a look at these and go right around and give a good close-up, and I'll show you the size and everything, and we'll give them in the hands. This is an incredible piece. They all are. But when we look at them aside, I want to give you a good idea in the natural light. When we look at every single one of these, make sure the working edge you see clearly, as opposed to this, which is the cortex of the stone and the non-working edges. You will see patterns develop. You're going to see the spirit of the tool, how necessary it was for them to use the working edges with relation to the size of the hand and what they were doing. The indentation that is common in these, in many, which is not a nutting stone. It's probably for pressure flaking or something, but really cool. You're going to see the cortex of the stone in the wear. This particular piece, the way they were using it, they were holding it here because this side is not worn. This side is worn for sure. Great stone right here. Great hammer stone altogether. Just a really unique one. Don't find them like that all the time. Just really great. Look at that. That came from my friend's property over in Site 2. Here's a great piece from the basin. This piece, of course, is just about translucent. Don't know if we can pick up the light out here. It's a quartz piece. We'll take a look at this tool in the hand. It's a pound, maybe a pound and a half, all of them, maybe 2 pounds, some of them. But this, not a lot of work in here, none here. You'll see the working edges come. Just great tools. Especially you guys who nap, you're going to see why they're great tools. Here's your edges. Here's your working space, right? Just a great tool. This tool, this hammerstone particularly is interesting because they definitely worked down here, holding it here and just doing something that worked real well right across here, and a working edge there if you can pick it up. Nothing on the other side, just a little teeny bit. Ends worked off. This was a great stone right here. Now, Lazy Susan's doing good here. Look at this piece. This is an interesting piece. Different type of stone, same type of weight, same type of fit in the hand, and you'll see the edges. Completely worked. Interesting on this stone is this is sort of concave a little bit, and so the cortex of the stone was never worked out on this outside edge. Never worked out. And that matters, that tells a lot about a tool, because it was used a while, this tool. You can see its shape, size, a little bit more cortex there. Just an incredible tool. You hold in your hand the energy of these things is just radical. You can see how much of a working tool this was right there. Hammerstones are definitely valuable commodities. Look at this from somebody's tool bag. from B&B Field. This is one of mine. Of course, I say it all the time, one of my favorites, but you'll see. This is an incredible piece right here. Of course, because it's uniform. We like that. American material culture likes them uniform. I mean, look at the stripes on this table. Look at our forks and our knives and our cups. But look at this piece. Balanced, smooth quartz. And look at this working edge, will you? It's a nice quiet here. Just good to think about. Possibly get you here. If you could be here, I mean, I'd let you check them out. Hold them in your hand, feel the weight of them. But this is just, I remember finding this almost 3 years ago. It was just like one of my first really great hammerstones I found. And I just said to myself, that's a tool. I didn't even know at this time what kind of tool it was. So as we go around here, here's another tool from Site 2. An incredible piece. Just came in this last calendar year. A hog. I mean, look at this piece so clearly. Working edge, cortex, working edges. See where your fingers fit right into there where the cortex is? You grab a hold of it and just go to work, right? Unbelievable piece of stone. If you could just see this here. Natural eye always does so much better for things, but maybe it's coming out. Sort of a rose quartz. Unbelievable. You can just tell how they've worked it and worked it and worked it and just used this tool to do what they needed. Here's another one. This happens to be from Site 5E. Deepest and darkest piece of quartz that I've had and found. Complete cortex, untouched, held. But clearly, a tool worked right off. And then this end is super, super smooth. Worked right off. I mean to tell you, right? This is super smooth. And the other end is not. It's not as smooth at all. You'll see it's two different textures. So chances are they're busting things up on a bigger scale there, or grinding or hitting. I mean, these tools, it would have been great to see what they really used them for, because they definitely kept them and used them repeatedly. It wasn't just a flash job, you know. A couple more, two more. Look at this piece. Prize piece from 5E, right next to Crystal Beach. Actually, this was off Crystal Beach, pretty much, you could say. This is an incredible hammerstone. Both sides. A little bit of that indentation right there. I mean, these are as good as you can get, I think, for hammerstones. I haven't seen a lot of you guys post videos on hammerstones. I have seen a couple videos where there's just like garage fills and bucketfuls and what have you. I don't get them that way. I keep 20 on my top. Look at how incredible this work edge is. And the rest, I continually try to get out the door. And I'm happy to, because hammerstones, they carry energy. They are the tools that were in their hands repeatedly and handled, just like I'm doing right now. But there was somebody who was using it 4,000 years ago to supply for the needs of their family and their life. Crazy, right? That's a nice stone right there. An incredible stone. And the last one I want to show you. It's from High Rise. Another one that is absolutely perfect in uniform. Very much like this one right here. Is this one. Just totally uniform. Incredible piece. So once you start finding or collecting stones, you start realizing something is going on, because there's such a repetitive fashion. Then you know that they were using this so much and to do so many things to provide for the needs of their family, their mates, their children. Vital needs came off of these stones. Their very survival came off of these stones. that we call hammerstones. So that is a cool aspect of the history behind it. The history of the prehistoric North American Indian is what we're looking at. That's a nice stone for sure. They're all fantastic stones. So as we close this, I'll go right around. Remember that? Incredible piece. And here's this piece. A little bit of a square here on this piece. Super uniform on that piece. Strawberry quartz, real thick piece right there. This one, which is just completely stained, almost purple. Great piece right there. Back down to this piece. Just incredible. I love the repetitive fashion. It just makes it super sure that you have some artifacts that represent the human beings that once lived here. Anyway, that says it all. Appreciate you tuning in to Indian Trace. And hopefully that'll be a different kind of video than you usually see, featuring the artifacts of the North American Indian. Have a good one out there.